Coming up, new developments in the case of a Tampa teacher charged for filming his students undressing. The additional charges he is now facing. Plus, a new shopping center in Northport will break ground soon. We'll tell you where it is and what it will bring to the area.
You are watching ABC7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. A new public safety center in Venice has been in the works for quite some time now. Back in 2016, voters approved spending $16 million on building it. But here we are 2 years later, and there are still no final plans. ABC7's Rebecca Fernandez joins us live now from City Hall with an update on the construction. Rebecca, what can you tell us?
Taylor, Jacqueline, well, City Council would have wanted to break ground by now, but they've run into some complications and some concerns. The team behind the future Venice Safety Complex spoke to City Council on Tuesday afternoon about one major problem: the budget. Project managers explained that it will cost a little over $12 million to build this new facility, but the city's budget for it is about $10 million. So the team is asking council members to consider cutting some ideas to make up the cost.
This is actually all part of the process. Now that we've been working with an architect, we now have a builder on board. So now it's just part of the process of getting the costs all together, and now we're just presenting it to the council so they're informed. This is our first opportunity actually to speak with our council.
However, the main plan to cut costs is to change the roof of the complex from a metal tile roof to a low slope roof, which had most council members very upset, because the 30,000 square foot facility will not only be the new home for the Venice Police Department, but will also be a possible emergency operations center for the city. So City Council wants to ensure the complex will be a safe, sustainable building. And the architect told them it still will be.
Budget only allowed a low slope roof. So the majority of my career, I've done nothing but low slope roofs for public safety facilities over the last 18 years. I'm confident we can provide all the requirements of the bond, all the requirements minus one of the council. I think we have been cognizant of community meeting room, Cat 5 survivability, and all the other requirements except with that caveat.
After discussing it further and answering questions from all council members, they ultimately decided to not move forward just yet.
I don't want to enter this and end up with arguments between the police department and the neighborhood, between the neighborhood and council, between council and the police department. I want this to go as smooth as we can. I think we can do that.
Mayor John Hollick says they'll be holding a special meeting in the near future. It could be even this week to make sure they're making the right decisions with this future complex. Live in Venice, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Rebecca. Now to an update on the quickly growing West Villages in Northport. The community near the new Atlanta Braves spring training facility will soon have a new shopping center. The center broke ground today at the corner of West Villages Parkway and US 41. Once it opens in the fall of next year, it is expected to bring in dozens of restaurants and shops. The plaza will be anchored by Publix. Well, let's check back in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast this half hour. Bob, how is it looking out there?
Well, good evening, everyone. A little cloudy right now and some rainfall north of us and to the west of us. Not much happening right now overhead. We'll have to keep an eye on these light rain showers. Some overrunning over a stationary front located to our north right now. That stationary front will eventually get a push southward as a cold front on Wednesday, but it falls apart before it reaches us. That's the first front. The second cold front is expected to move through on Friday, and it will cool us down for the weekend. But until then, temperatures will be running a few degrees above average. You can see a little bit of light rain approaching Pinellas County right now. There's not much going on here along Manatee or Sarasota County or Charlotte counties for that matter, and inland counties also pretty dry right now. This is going to be basically clouds for us. I don't think we'll see much rainfall from that, but through this evening, look for mostly cloudy skies at times. 84 degrees, so it's still pretty warm at this hour, and winds out of the west-northwest at 12, and the pressure is falling slightly at 30.01 inches. We're going to talk about the remnants of Willa and this area of low pressure over the northwest Gulf of Mexico and how it will have an impact on our weather on Thursday and Friday in a little bit. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. The video voyeurism case against a man who taught fashion design at a Florida high school just got bigger. 50-year-old Mark Ackett is now being charged with an additional 353 charges.
Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputies arrested the former teacher in September. That's after a student discovered 2 cell phones hidden in the changing area of the classroom. Deputies also found 3 cameras and thumb drives in his desk. Ackett turned himself back in on Monday on additional charges of video voyeurism and pornography. He's being held on a $250,000 bond.
A Florida man accused of groping a woman on a Southwest plane made his first appearance in federal court today. The woman, who was seated in front of 49-year-old Bruce Michael Alexander on a flight from Houston to Albuquerque, said he touched her inappropriately. Alexander's excuse? According to court documents, he told police officers, "The President of the United States says it's okay to grab women by their private parts." Alexander is charged with abusive sexual contact. He faces 2 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
The sheriff of Jacksonville is increasing security for the big Georgia-Florida game this weekend following a drive-by shooting there. 6 people were shot just blocks from the Jaguars' home stadium on Sunday afternoon, and deputies are still looking for that shooter. Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams says he plans to deploy 600 law enforcement officers around the stadium, where the University of Florida and the University of Georgia play on Saturday. Officers will also be stationed throughout downtown Jacksonville, and there will also be metal detectors outside of the stadium.
Well, one of the nation's biggest convention centers is getting even bigger. Officials say they plan to expand the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando. The convention center currently has more than 2 million square feet of exhibit space. It's second in the nation, only to McCormick Place in Chicago. But even after the expansion, the Orange County Convention Center will remain number 2. It currently hosts more than 200 meetings and 1.4 million visitors each year.
Early voting is underway in Sarasota County, and it begins tomorrow in Manatee County. Election Day may be 2 weeks away, but more than 1 million people have already voted here in the battleground state of Florida. New statistics showed that nearly 114,000 people voted during the first day of early voting across the state. Additionally, more than 1 million people have voted by mail. There are more than 13 million registered voters here in Florida.
Well, we are less than 2 hours away from a huge debate that's happening right here on ABC7. With who will be joining us on ABC News at 7, here is the show's host, Alan Cohn.
Taylor, thanks. The race for Congress in the 16th Congressional District is one of the highest profile contests in the country. In less than 2 hours, both candidates, Republican Vern Buchanan and Democrat David Shapiro, will face off in their one and only debate. Buchanan has been in Congress for 11 years. Democrats have tried and repeatedly failed to beat him, but Sarasota attorney David Shapiro has raised over $2 million, and President Trump has done an excellent job of motivating Democrats to vote. We've been asking you for weeks, do you want me to ask the 2 candidates? You could find out if you made the cut coming up tonight at 7, and you could still send those questions to me at Alan M. Cohn on Twitter. Back to you.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you, Alan. New information today from retired Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day OConnor. As ABC's Emily Rao reports in a letter, the 88-year-old revealing she's been diagnosed with the beginning stages of dementia and probably Alzheimer's disease.
Retired Justice Sandra Day OConnor says she is suffering from the beginning stages of dementia. In a letter released by her family, the 88-year-old wrote that she wanted to, quote, be open about these changes, and while I am still able, share some personal thoughts. She added, how fortunate I feel to be an American and to have been presented with the remarkable opportunities available to the citizens of our country. OConnor was nominated to the court in 1981 by President Ronald Reagan, who was fulfilling a campaign pledge to name the first female justice.
I don't care who you are, it's a difficult, unpleasant experience for the nominee.
She served for a quarter century, retiring in 2006, leaving to take care of her husband John, who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. After his diagnosis, she worked tirelessly to urge Congress to spend more money on Alzheimer's research. Since leaving the court, OConnor was presented the Medal of Freedom, heard cases in courts of appeals around the country, and in a 2010 interview with ABC, promoted the teaching of civics to students.
Barely 1/3 of Americans can name the 3 branches of government.
Chief Justice John Roberts called OConnor a trailblazer and a, quote, towering figure in the history of the United States and indeed the world. In her letter, O'Connor said she hoped others would take the lead in promoting civics and that she would be watching from the sidelines. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
A look at the excitement of tonight's Mega Millions jackpot next.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do.
Call us at 1-800-485-6000. That's 1-800-485-6000.
Or go to mesoonlylaw.com.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
My grandpa was always telling me about it.
But the civil rights thing happened like 1,000,000 years ago.
Still, he thought it was important that I know what it was like.
So we followed the civil rights trail to Alabama. We saw Dr. King's church,
the bridge in Selma, the church in Birmingham, and I finally knew what he was talking about.
Some things you just have to experience for yourself.
Start your civil rights journey at alabama.travel.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
We are just hours away now from the drawing of Mega Millions, the jackpot well over $1 billion. And as ABC's Maggie Ruley reports, it's really anybody's prize.
I just want to win. I just want to be a New Yorker that wins.
I wake up every day thinking I'm a winner.
We're winning.
The dream of winning that record-breaking $1.6 billion jackpot is still alive, for now.
This is the hottest bodega to buy it.
With millions across the country testing their luck.
You should probably definitely buy a ticket here, though, but don't ruin my chances.
And already sharing the love.
And when I win, you're going to get a new camera.
Many say their reason for hopping on the lottery bandwagon now is pretty obvious.
$1.6 billion, I don't know, it's a pretty big incentive.
Snapping up tickets despite knowing the miserable odds.
I'm an odds guy.
But you know the odds aren't that good.
Yeah, it's 1 in more than 300 million.
So I got one chance in the entire country of I
So you're saying there's a chance.
Hanging all their hope on that meager chance.
What are you going to do with your little share?
I'm maybe run for president?
Pay off some bills, take my mom to Hawaii, you know, buy a farm.
I want to buy a sneaker store.
Word of advice from the experts: if you do luck out and win, get your team of professionals in place right away, including a financial advisor, a lawyer, an accountant, maybe even a psychologist to help you deal with all that new cash.
And get this, if no one wins tonight, the next drawing on Friday would be for $2 billion with a mind-boggling cash payout of more than $1 billion. Maggie Burley, ABC News, New York.
Oh, wow, $2 billion. Well, a reminder, you can catch those winning lotto numbers right here on ABC7 tonight during our 11 p.m. show. Bob?
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
I read some numbers on that $1.6 billion. If you were to win and take an outright lump sum, it would be somewhere in the neighborhood of $99.2 million. And then you got to pay the federal government taxes. So it really brings it down to about 700 million. So that's not all that great. Well, sure it is. Yeah, I'll tell you, I could use it. We're looking at the Category 3 storm right now. This is a big hurricane. It was a 5 at one point, down to a 3, and it is weakening as it makes its way to the Mexican coast there. It's going to bring a tremendous amount of rainfall. Also, pretty good storm surge. Luckily, this is a fairly unpopulated area, but still it's going to cause significant damage, and also a big problem with mudslides and life-threatening mudslides throughout central Mexico as all that moisture will continue to fall, and then eventually it gets wrapped up with this area of low pressure, which is non-tropical in nature. And that's the good news, is that this is going to move across the Gulf of Mexico. It'll have a cold front with it, a warm front with it, and that is not something that you see with tropical systems. But it'll be watched closely for the potential for bringing us some stronger cells on Friday now. Looks like Thursday night, Friday may be the timing. That may change, but right now it appears that we could see a line of storms developing in advance of a cold front that's expected to sweep through and then cool us down. Finally, some cooler weather. Now, we've had a few tastes of it, but I think this next front will be a much stronger one, which will be much more noticeable, especially on Sunday. There's a few showers and clouds well offshore. Some of that cloudiness spreading on land now. Not much rainfall here. There's a few showers approaching near Pinellas. Warmer overnight. Low temperatures, no, we're gone with the 60s. We'll be in the low 70s for the most part to start the day on Wednesday. Storms are possible, as I mentioned, late Thursday, more so Friday. And then a weekend cool down expected. Now, Sunday appears to be the best of the weekend. There'll still be a little bit of cloudiness around and still a chance for showers on Saturday as the whole trough of low pressure kind of scoots out of here. The storm itself will be gone, but there's still that low pressure trough that'll be hanging on. So we'll be watching this area for the development. Obviously, we talked about this earlier. It's going to be scooting along the northern Gulf of Mexico, and there's still some other models that suggest it'll be up further into Georgia. Some keep it down here into Florida. Eventually, it tracks up off into the northeast here and causes all sorts of headaches over the northeast United States on into Sunday and Monday of next week. But this frontal boundary will eventually, it will be where it tracks along for the most part. As far as we're concerned, we could use a little bit of rainfall. It's been relatively dry so far, but we are looking for a few showers to pop up here and there, especially on Thursday night and throughout the day on Friday. Scattered about. It's not going to be an all-day rain, it looks like, but we could see some significant weather advisories too for boaters beginning Friday and continuing on Saturday. So rough seas and some strong winds out there out of the northwest, something we haven't seen in a while. So we'll see how that red tide plays out with the northwest to west wind that we are anticipating once the front moves through. So the futurecast showing the front comes down, then moves back northward as a warm front, and then the storm system gathers out here in the west United States. You can see some heavy rainfall, some bigger storms expected over Louisiana, lower Mississippi Valley, and yes, unfortunately, it will move into the area where they're recovering right now from Michael over the panhandle of Florida. Evening planner, look for some clouds around, and looks like temperatures into the upper 70s through the 8 o'clock hour, and then cooling down into the mid 70s by 11. Forecast tomorrow, a little bit of cloudiness around, but temperatures will still be into the mid 80s for the most part, despite the clouds. And as far as our forecast goes for boaters, looks good tomorrow. Winds will be out of the north at 10 knots, and we'll have a light chop in the bays and inland waters. The forecast then for the next 7 days, look for partly cloudy skies to mostly cloudy conditions on Wednesday at times, and then a good chance for showers Thursday night and throughout the day scattered about on Friday. A little bit of a shower or two on Saturday as well. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Let's take a look at your first alert traffic for the drive home. We are seeing some slowdowns northbound on US 41. As for the interstate tonight, we are also seeing some slowdowns near the University Parkway exit. Just south of that, there's a lot of green on the map for your drive home. Taylor?
In consumer news, a new recall alert is out for BMW owners. The automaker expanding a recall in Europe and Asia to North America. The concern is for a possible fluid leak that could result in a fire. In some diesel vehicles, coolant could leak from the exhaust. No injuries have been reported. The recall covers some vehicles made between 2010 and 2017. Those affected will receive a letter.
Uber says its Eats restaurant food delivery service will grow to cover 70% of the U.S. population by the end of this year. That service now covers about half of the population. The expansion will be into smaller cities. Eats is part of Uber's plan to use its app expertise to create new businesses.
A new startup wants to convince people to stop buying water in plastic bottles. Tap launched an app today that displays nearby clean drinking water locations. People can go to those places and refill their own water bottle. The app highlights 34,000 refill stations across 7,100 cities. The list includes restaurants, retail stores, and public water fountains. You can download the app for free.
I really like that. I think I'm going to have to download that app tonight.
Me too.
Entertainment news is coming up next. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Conquer your next adventure. Get a new Jeep at a great price during Jeep Adventure Days at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee, for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
Enjoy fine wine and great foods, all while supporting a great cause. It's the 17th annual Suncoast Food and Wine Fest, happening Saturday, November 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample great food from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds go to local charities and Rotary projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
The world is a beautiful place again.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Donate today to the Hurricane Michael Relief and Disaster Fund.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
ABC7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
In entertainment news, Drake has broken a musical record the Beatles set over half a century ago.
The Canadian rapper officially broke the record for the most top 10s on Billboard's Hot 100 chart by any act in a single year. His feature on Bad Bunny's Mia pushed him past the Fab Four. The song marks Drake's 12th top 10 of this year. The Beatles banked 11 in their breakout year, 1964. Drake has 32 top 10 songs overall, a record for solo male artists.
Rosie O'Donnell is getting married. The former co-host of The View publicly announced her engagement to her girlfriend Elizabeth Rooney Monday in an interview with People magazine. O'Donnell revealed they've been dating long distance since they went public with their relationship a year ago. They both decided the wedding will be, quote, a long time in the future. This will be O'Donnell's third marriage.
The Irwin family is returning to Animal Planet 12 years after the death of the Crocodile Hunter star Steve Irwin. The Crocodile Hunter aired on Animal Planet from 1996 to 2007. Steve Irwin died in 2006 when he was stung by a stingray. Now Irwin's wife, Terry, and children, Bindi and Robert, are back on the TV channel with their new show, Crikey! It's the Irwins. The show airs this Sunday.
Well, tickets are on sale now for a new show at the Van Wezel in Sarasota. The stage show Beyond Glory tells the story of 8 brave men who were awarded the Medal of Honor in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. This special Sarasota premiere stars award-winning playwright, stage, and screen star Stephen Lang. You may have seen Lang on big screen in movies like Avatar and Don't Breathe. That show will be on November 19th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets range from $27 to $57.
Wow, looking forward to that. Yeah, me too.
Well, stay with us. We'll be right back with more news and weather.